The Buy Nothing Rebellion has started. Are you tired of broken appliances, endless upgrades, cars that break down just after the warranty expires, bad food and shrinking portions? All over the world, people are quietly and not so quietly rebelling against the corporate marketing, against the corporate manipulations that leave us a little poorer, yet not any happier. Today's video is inspired by a video made by Let's Talk About Life with Anton. More and more of us are sensing that today's consumer culture has gone wildly off track. In the not-so-distant past, we made do with what we had. We fixed things. We purchased quality items, things that were made to last. We paid cash. We waited to buy things until we had enough money. Back then, many department stores offered a thing called layaway. You paid a little bit every week until you had enough money put aside, and then you would buy the item, no credit needed. All of this built character, and we've lost a lot of that in recent years. It used to be that things were built to last. Appliances, big and small, clothing, tools, etc., etc. Craftsman, once part of the now defunct Sears Roebuck chain of department stores, is a disgrace. Back then, they gave you a lifetime warranty. If it ever broke, bring it in and they'll give you a new one. No longer. Not even made in the United States anymore. This is part of planned obsolescence, the idea that things break sooner than you would like, and this keeps you spending money. Now, there is some justification for this. If everything lasted forever, factories would close and people would lose their jobs. A different sort of problem that's come up is a very bad trend exemplified by PayPal and Klarna. Basically, you buy now and pay later. Now, you still have to pay later. You may come to regret this. So why do we buy stuff we don't need or put up with stuff that is plainly subpar? Well, marketers have gotten very good at their craft. You need the next big thing. You've got to get the latest and greatest. And by the way, now that we have you here, let's upsell you some stuff you don't really need in addition to your original purchase. Or let's put you on a subscription basis like Adobe does for all their products. All these ads tell us that the good stuff isn't good anymore, give you a sense of inadequacy. You're not good enough unless you own the latest and greatest. This is a very long lament. Way back in the 1960s, there was a song by the Rolling Stones called Satisfaction. Here's one of the lyrics. When I'm watching my TV and a man comes on and tells me how white my shirts could be, but he can't be a man because he doesn't smoke the same cigarettes as me. A very old lament going back to the 1960s. And these days, many of us are not getting a lot of satisfaction. Now, this all boils down to needs versus wants. Things we need are things we need. We've become prosperous enough to where, in many parts of the world, and for many of us, our actual material needs have been met. So now what do we do with our excess money? Did you ask for this? Did any of us ask for this? So what are some of the hot button issues that today's consumers face in today's consumer environment? There's shrinkflation and packaging. Shrinkflation is basically deception. We have shrinking candy bars, shrinking cereal boxes, shrinking everything. A couple of years ago, Toblerone got caught downsizing the amount of candy in their famous pyramidal-shaped packages. Today, if you buy a bag of potato chips or Doritos, you'll find that the bag is mostly air. Actually, it's nitrogen gas, which keeps the spoilage down because oxygen spoils food. We have to worry about inferior ingredients, such as things like meat glue and pink slime and mechanically separated chicken, stabilizers, emulsifiers, gums, preservatives, artificial flavors, artificial colors, antibiotics, hormones, leaveners and dough conditioners, and a lot of compounds involving sodium, not good for your blood pressure, so they say, and lots of sugar. A lot of the products we eat are just simply not that good for us. Another beef, poor quality merchandise, not only with things like fast food, but also our cars, our appliances, our clothing, electronic devices, and a whole lot else. Now, we can blame higher prices partly on COVID and the resulting supply chain issues that it led to, and also on the inflation we experienced during the first part of the 2020s. But in a lot of categories, prices have been rising much faster than the rate of inflation. Another complaint is declining customer service. People cost money, companies cut costs, and service suffers. That's been going on everywhere. So if you sense something has gone very wrong, you're ready to join the Buy Nothing Rebellion. What can you, the poor consumer, do? Well, first of all, before you buy something, pause, stop yourself. Before you take out that credit card, think to see whether you really need that item or not. Before you make a purchase, do some research. Find out what the good products are and what the not so good products are, and stay away from the bad ones. There are plenty of clips on YouTube and plenty of other resources on the internet, not to mention old favorites like Consumer Reports, that will tell you about products of all kinds and who the winners and losers are. Do your research before you buy, and you'll be a much happier consumer. Check them out before you make that purchase you will regret later on here. It also wouldn't hurt for us to reflect on how our own behaviors brought about this situation. Too often we traded quality for convenience or speed or price. We go for the lowest price, we go for the greatest convenience or how fast we can get something here, but quality usually suffers. The old saying of fast, good, cheap, pick two, comes to mind here. We can be excused for some of this when money is tight, but maybe when money isn't so tight, we can give way to more intentional buying as consumers on our part. When we can, perhaps we should insist on quality, even if it takes a little longer or costs a little more. But people are waking up, fixing things, maintaining things, trading things, making do with what you have, buying old stuff. You don't need the latest and greatest. You can get by with last year's model or the year before's model just fine. No one ever upgraded themselves to happiness. Let's face it, most of us can get by with a lot less stuff in our lives than we currently have. As Kwai Chang Caine from the old Kung Fu TV show once said, the things you own shouldn't own you. In the end, the Buy Nothing Rebellion isn't a movement against money or against capitalism. It's a movement for more meaning in our lives. Capitalism, after all, has done a pretty good job of satisfying our needs and wants, at least until things started to go seriously sideways only quite recently in our history. How can you join the rebellion? Pause before you buy. Do your research. Buy for longevity. Repair and reuse. Support small local businesses. Buy local. And above all, be intentional. What you will gain is a better sense of gratitude for the things you own. You will win back some of your freedom. You will gain some peace of mind. You'll win back some of your time and enjoy a greater sense of contentment. Take back your power. The Buy Nothing Rebellion is about rediscovering your personal power, not rejecting an economic system that has brought so much wealth to so many of us. I'm the Krabby Curator, and thank you for your attention. If you like this sort of content, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to this channel. Thank you.